Just another random video. I couldn't sleep. Been up for hours. I'm like super bullish right now. Like it's mad exciting. But third cycle, so I'm just calm. I'm just like, okay, we're at the beginning or the middle or like, the bit where things go a bit crazy. And I think I know where the signs are when you're supposed to sell. So I'm hoping this time I get out with as much profit as possible. Not that I'm like, a mercenary and looking for cash and whatnot and whatnot. I'm just like, just thinking about going through another 3 years of like struggle and trying to find alpha and waiting for things to be built. And a lot of building has been done during this bear market. Like there's a lot of changes, a lot of different things, and I just sort of decided I need to get these thoughts out of my head and just put them on YouTube or Twitter or X or whatever we call it now, and just like call it a day. Um, one of the things that's kind of bothering me is like, is this the best we could do? Like meme coins. I like, the whole thesis with this, what's his name? Mahmood. Mahmood. Is it M-U? Murad, that's it. Murad. This guy. This fella. And he's basically put out this thesis about, um, these meme tokens basically saying that they're going to be like the new religions, the new cults, and, people are going to trade these things. And like, from a tokenomics perspective, I can see where he's coming from. As in, like, there's no VC unlocks, there's no backroom deals. The tokens are just out there and people could buy them. But that doesn't mean that, the people who release the token haven't got a heavy allocation. So you have to be careful. Um, yeah, and, I didn't believe it. I was just like, whatever. Like, only the plebs are going to trade, like, meme coins. And, the ones looking for a quick buck. And, like, it is risky. You could take the risk and just maybe you make it out, maybe you don't. But it's more than likely that you won't. There's this whole stat with pump.fun where they're basically saying that only like 0.01% of people made a profit trading meme tokens on there. Like they were releasing thousands, tens of thousands of tokens now on Solana through this pump.fun. And like, as I was saying before, it's like his theory it does make sense to an extent, and I was sort of doubting it, and then all of a sudden, like, I see last night I was up like 4 a.m. I'm in the UK, so 4 a.m. and then I see that Elon Musk has got like robots serving drinks, and basically taking all the plebs' jobs. Um, at some point we're going to be standing there, and it's going to be completely normal for us to be in a cafe or a bar or something, and a robot serves us a drink, and it's going to cost us like barely anything. He basically said at the end of his speech that we're heading into an era of abundance. Now, the implications of these robots, these I can't remember what you called them specifically, but you can imagine all the things that these things can do. Like manual labor, basic office work, bars, clubs, whatever you need, prison officers, policemen, like they could do pretty much anything once they're fully fleshed out. So it's quite scary, and it makes you like sort of question what we as like human beings are going to end up doing, which is basically we just have to be creative. I think being creative and using our imaginations and creating things for ourselves, i.e., like doing a YouTube video, music, art. But even then, with AI as well, like I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was a photographer, or she is a photographer, and she saw an article from a major fashion outlet basically saying that they've done all their advertising using AI. And she's like, my dream was to go to these fancy places, locations, and shoot models. But now, after spending like more than half my life learning photography, it's sort of out of the question. And I made a point to her. I was kind of like, you know, when when photography was invented, people didn't stop painting. People still painted. There's still like world famous painters out there, graffiti artists and whatnot. So you just have to be creative and think outside the box, basically. Um, yeah, but going back to meme coins, I'm like, is that the best we could do? I mean, 2017 we had like Ethereum with the ICOs, that was crazy, and then DeFi as well, and then the last bubble was like NFTs between 2019 and 2021, I'd say. So that was something different and new. Although Vitalik hates NFTs, he thinks they're stupid. A lot of people think NFTs are stupid, and to be honest, they are kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie. But those are the three or the two or yeah the two main things that happened during the two previous bull markets. And meme coins, it looks like this is what the narrative's going to be for this one, but I feel like it's like a false flag. Like, yeah, they might do well, and yeah, people might get lucky with them, but religions and cults, are people going to hold these things for the long term? This guy who, this Murad or whatever, who I showed you before, let me bring it back up, Murad, go back to him. Murad, yeah. This guy, he got doxxed by Zach XBT as well, so all of his addresses and everything, and all his token holdings have been basically exposed. So that means that he's going to be held accountable for what he's saying, i.e., when the prices do like start steamrolling up, is he going to dump on everybody because he has big allocations in all these tokens he's talking about? I mean, originally when he sort of dropped a list before he done this speech of token 24. You can find this post on his profile, so I'm not going to go through it. But yeah, originally he dropped just a list and he explained basically his thesis behind it, and everyone mocked him. They were like, "Yeah, these are all going to zero. I wouldn't believe anything this guy says." Apparently he was a VC in the last bull market, and yeah, he blew up his fund. But he tried, and that's all we can do in this world is just try to do and be the best we can be. So, and he didn't give up, and he's back. So yeah, he's basically his point also was that meme coins basically have outperformed all these new VC coins. And to be honest, during I think the first 2 years or the last 2 years, I was grinding airdrops. Like I was thinking ZK Sync is gonna drop a token, so I'm gonna grind on there. I went through the goal free process, and in the end, goal free turned out. I don't know if it was incorrect treasury management or something, but basically, yeah, they basically folded and just said, look, guys, it's not going to work. So they said, take your money out. They did give us all our money back, and yeah, it's over. So that was a wrap. And I wasted a lot of time and energy. I'm basically trying to promote them and earn referrals and whatnot, and thought that would be my way to get through. But it didn't quite work out, which is, once again, at least I tried. I went through I learned how to do YouTube Shorts. I done like etc. etc. Trying to make it work. But yeah, I'm still bullish on like DeFi. I feel like a lot of people are overlooking it. Maybe it's too complicated. They don't want to do the research, or they're not willing to lock tokens. Like I've been locked for a while. I feel like I understand DeFi way more than I understand meme coins. And but then at the same time, in the last previous two bull markets, I never understood NFTs, and I never understood DeFi when it first came out. I think the main like proposition with DeFi, especially on like L2s like Base and Optimism, is that the way I see it is kind of like I saw DeFi on mainnet, so it was like Curve Finance, Compound, etc., etc. But the fees were so expensive that I couldn't actually partake. So it was like you want to get in Curve and build up your position or whatever. It cost you $300 at the time when I realized what it was. So imagine seeing it again, but this time you could do it for like a fraction of a penny. I mean, I'm just waiting for people to realize that. There's a lot of issues, or not issues, but like people bring up token emissions and whatnot, not realizing that a lot of the NFT holders, they're called like VE voters. So there's like VE error, VE Velo. Some of them they lock them in a something called a relay where it compounds your position automatically. So basically, it sources out your Velo and Aero and allocates it straight back to your NFT, which is, you know, that means that when the emissions happen every epoch, which is every Thursday night, the majority, 50% of the emissions actually go to people who have locked their tokens in a relay. So the percentage is like variable. I'm not gonna go through it. I've done a video on Velodrome, and you can kind of like see what I'm talking about. That's one of my previous videos, one of the more popular ones. But basically the same lessons that are in that video also apply to Aerodrome, which is made by the same developers, and yeah, yeah. So it's kind of just sort of that, and the whole Elon Musk thing with the robots, which is crazy. I'm just like, okay, and yeah. Oh, in other news, like Uniswap, basically decided that they're gonna do their own chain. Well, like their own L2. So like they only announced it, so it's called Unichain, a new L2 design for DeFi. And in the Discord of say Aerodrome and Velodrome, the developers are basically saying that the token is still going to be useless. Uh, to the point where they're basically saying, yeah, you can stake the token and you can earn rewards like by validating the transactions. But in the documentation, is saying that the person with the largest amount of holdings or weight will basically be able to validate the chain, which means that it's for whales and VCs, which has always been the case with Uniswap. I don't know if they've got an inflated opinion of themselves or they think that everyone is aware of the brand or what Uniswap is. But when I talk to regular people, they shrug their shoulders when I bring up the word Uniswap. You know, they're also expecting people to download their wallet in order to operate on quotation marks Web3. But Coinbase has already got that sewn up. You know, like 100 million users all use Coinbase. I mean, there's a lot of complaints with Coinbase when you actually go to buy or cash out in regards to the fees, but it's a business and it needs to remain profitable. So there's that. Yeah. So this Unichain, basically the theory is with any rivals that want to usurp their position as the number one DEX, that which is a decentralized exchange, is that it's basically all about the LPs. So like there are people providing liquidity on Uniswap, on Aerodrome, on Velodrome. But the difference is that in regards to Aerodrome and Velodrome, the user or the LPs actually provide liquidity and get paid in the actual Aerodrome or Velodrome token. Whereas with Uniswap, you get paid in whatever you're providing liquidity for. So if you're doing ETH you'll get ETH and liquidity back. The majority of the fees that are accrued are actually applied to Aerodrome and uh, basically issued back to the VE NFT holders. So if you're someone who's vested your tokens, you'll get 100% of the fees, plus also other incentives from the protocols that are actually on Uniswap or Velodrome. Yeah, it's see, I'm kind of like waffling. Sorry, guys, I've been up for like 15 hours. I'm just like super excited about what's coming, like or what's happening. So I'm just like, although a lot of people may have bought late or got into the cycle or tried to time the bottom even or try to trade, like there's a lot of mistakes you could make in this part of the cycle where you think, oh, perhaps it's over, perhaps it's topped, perhaps it's too expensive. But like, the last leg is finally here, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm in profit, I'm doing well, I'm earning, and it's good. And now it's just like, okay, that final push where everything goes absolutely insane. And your mouth will drop when you see the type of prices we're looking at, and you'll be like, you'll understand what overvalued means, basically. I can see that happening. A lot of things are going to be overvalued, and it's your job or our jobs to basically recognize that, not get greedy, and take what you can. Because I've got a feeling in the next couple of years things are going to get even harder for the majority of us. Um, Although Elon says it's going to be the time of abundance, I've just got a feeling that yeah, if you're not in the correct position to enjoy that abundance, then you're going to be the person scraping or cleaning or fixing the robots or doing something along those lines. You're going to be standing behind them, just wondering where you went wrong. You know. So yeah, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for everyone. Starknet, they've announced that they're going to be doing staking. Um, I don't know if anyone cares. You see, because it's that same argument with the whole VCs and whatnot. Basically, there's still a lot of token emissions that are due out. Like, there's still a lot of VC funding that needs to be I was gonna say recognized, but like realized. The average price for the average price that a VC has paid, for instance, is like I believe 28 cents. And currently the token is sitting at what price? 39 cents. It's sort of just like doing nothing. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is people accumulating or if it's just like VCs waiting. They do their little pumps every now and again. They hope that people will bite and price gets pushed up and then they can then sell their allocations. It's just like yeah, it's very shady. I feel like Starknet has got a lot of potential as like the way people who are more technologically inclined, they understand things way better than I would perhaps, or the average person. They're saying good things about Starknet. So like, but as what this Murad was saying, it's like you're not buying the tech, you're buying the token. So is the token really worth it? I'm not so sure it is at this price. If you want to get dumped on by VCs, then that's fine. You can use it for gas costs too. If you were to like, be curious and brave, I'd say brave. and buy this StarkNet token and stake it, you're gonna earn like 4 or 5% yield. And to be honest, there's way more other opportunities out there that pay much better. Um, Obviously, you could have the prevalence of saying, I'm a StarkNet whale, like, if you were willing to buy the minimum, which is like 10,000 StarkNet tokens. So at the current price, what's that? I know I should do the maths on this, like, but I'm just gonna do it this way because I'm an idiot. So 3,800 to get you 10,000 StarkNet tokens, and you could stake those and perhaps earn 4 to 5% APR, APY. Can't remember. But yeah, the market and the general consensus and people's view of StarkNet is very bad, And from what my understanding is, like, if people view something really bad and they're not interested, perhaps it's a good buy. So I just keep looking at it, thinking, oh, should I put some money in and just like, see what happens? But then I don't want to be a victim, and I feel like if I put myself in that position of staking, I will be the victim. They're gonna pay you back the yield in StarkNet tokens as well, which the VCs and insiders and investors will be dumping on you. People with like big bags with this token. So maybe it's just better to wait out for 1 or 2 years and see if they find any apps on, or if they build any apps on their chain that have product market fit. But at the moment, there's nothing on there. Like literally, there's nothing to do on StarkNet. They're trying to like play the games. Like you can play like let me give you an example, like Loot Realms. Yeah, like yeah, Realms. And yeah, it's just like, but the games are, look, like basic games, It's just not, it's not exciting. It's not exciting. They did have what's this one here? Influencer, which is quite good, quite decent. It's loading. I mucked around on it. I built a few like stores and whatnot, and it's good fun. It is fun, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, who's got time? Well, if you do have time and you're into those type of real time strategy games, it's not really real time because everything takes a few days, to be delivered, and you want to buy a rocket, you want to fly. Yeah, it's just like it's you gotta have patience to play these type of games. So yeah, Starknet's not really doing it for me until they actually find something that is interesting. And at the moment, there's nothing interesting. Yeah. So what have I been doing? Nothing really. I'm voting every week on my Velo and Aero positions, collecting funds. Like I've been playing quite a bit on Thales. Shout out Thales. I still like to bet on sports and yeah, gamble a bit. Like it's all a bit of fun. Yeah, but I've kind of calmed down on it because I've had a really bad streak, like 4, 6, 5 months of just not winning anything. So I'm just wasting, throwing away my valuable yields. Like there's plenty of other things I could actually do to um like basically make more money. There's like extra fi. There's loads of different things that you can do to create yield and make more income for yourself. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna try and like discipline myself, maybe not gamble so much and just like see what other opportunities are out there. One more thing I wanted to talk about. I'll see if I can drag it over. Just give me a second. And it was sort of like yesterday. It looked quite interesting. I'm bringing it over now. Is this thing? Now, what is it? Like, I'll bring up the Twitter as well so we can understand. It's called Circle, and it's like on some new chain I've never heard of. So if I go back to it and just like click bridge, Shape Network. Yeah, I've never heard of Shape Network, but apparently it's like an NFT network sort of thing. Sort of like similar to like R0, like or Zero or whatever it's called. Yeah, I'll probably put a link to that in the description and you can check it out. But basically, this circle, you can buy a token that's called Circle, and the value is in the middle there. So that's basically what the market cap is, I believe, or how much money is actually, or the TVL. So when you buy it, it goes up, and the circle actually grows. I mean, I don't know. It's niche. It's different. It's difficult to get to grips with. As in not difficult for me, but like to bridge to a new network and set up on your wallet, and then transfer funds and then buy it. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's listed on an exchange. I tried to check it on Dex Screener and it's not there. So yeah, I don't know. But like, what do you guys think of like these meme coins? There's like Nero. Who is it? Nero, is it Neiro? This one's been like, oh my god, look, it's up 57%. Is that today? Last 24 hours, look at that. Maybe that's the wrong one. Don't know, but yeah, there's a few of them. Yeah, well, I like I like the base memes. It's quite surprisingly, like you got Mog. I like Mog. Mog is like something different. It's kind of like okay, and the community's quite cool. Like I'm tempted. You see I'm tempted. Like I'm kind of like okay, but where am I gonna go? And knowing me, I'm gonna buy it on the wrong chain, and it's not gonna work. And but I like Mog, and there's another one called Thank You Base God TV. It's like something about Brian Armstrong, which is down like 14%. You see, and I was tempted to buy it a while back, and I was just like, yeah, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I joined the Telegram, and it's just a cool bunch of people. There's like a video you can watch and stuff like that. So it's all just a build up. I guess you got to get a feel for the community. I'm trying to listen to what this Murad is saying and try to be involved, because if it is the case that meme tokens are the thing, then they're gonna pump a lot. You can see the market cap's only 10 million. So yeah, there's a lot of potential for these things to pump. Um, yeah, I just can't bring myself to do it. I really can't. But they're better than governance tokens, and they're better than like these airdrops that were just a complete waste of time. After the ZK Sync, after the ZK Sync airdrop, and I was just like, this is so disappointing. Oh my god. And people still went after Scroll, and I knew Scroll was going to be a complete disaster as well. And Eigenlair was a disaster as well. It's just that like you're going to get screwed over on these things because people have made deals in the background, and that's not the ethos of like crypto. It's all supposed to be out in the open. We're all supposed to see what's going on, and it's supposed to be fair. Like eventually, like the VCs will figure it out. Like I watched some video from Unchained. I can't remember the name of the woman that runs it, but she's really good. She's like a really popular YouTuber, popular in the crypto community. But she was interviewing a VC, and basically the title of it was "Quiet Quitting." And he was saying how people are just quietly quitting crypto. They're not getting involved, they're not too interested, and he was basically moaning that we weren't buying his bags. Like he got allocated a certain amount or a cheaper price, and he's waiting to sell, but there's no one to buy. And it's like, good. This is what you deserve. You shouldn't be in the background. You should be helping to build. You should be funding some stuff. Like, like maybe you did fund some stuff, but it wasn't for the greater good. It was for your own pockets. So it's not. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm actually really tired of seeing these fucking. Oh, excuse my language. I'm so really tired of seeing these people come in, like attack and just suck the blood out of everyone and disappear and say how smart they were. They sit in the restaurants and brag about how much money they've made from what. You didn't create anything, you didn't add anything. And I'm not the one to say, I'm not the one. I shouldn't be the one to judge because I'm merely a user who's been around for a long time. I've actually one of the privileged few that got to see crypto grow from nothing to something. You know, I admit, like, I didn't take full up, like, I didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were put in front of me because I didn't understand exactly what was going on. And you could call that ignorance, or you could call that just a lack of understanding or knowledge, or just a lack of connections. Like, how was I supposed to know that these pictures were going to be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars? And how did I know how to create, like, I wasn't educated to know how to create yield, and I didn't know what it meant when I saw DeFi until I saw it and I actually used it, and then I learned. So I have to physically be in that position and do things to understand what they are and how they work. Someone could tell someone could tell you something, and you could think, oh, okay, that sounds like something, and then you're just not curious. And like, from what I've learned through all my years in crypto is that you have to be curious. You have to put yourself out there, you have to make conversations in discords, and just like, yeah, basically learn from not only your mistakes but other people's mistakes as well, and through experience. So like using things, because you might use a protocol at some point, and you think, oh, it's nothing, or it's too expensive, or there's something wrong with it, and then another protocol comes along like a year later, and it's kind of the same thing, but it's way better, and you think, okay, this is the version that I can actually use, and I could actually potentially buy some tokens in, so long as the tokens are actually doing something, like as in like paying you a yield. But then in saying that, see, I'm all over the place because in saying that, I know that these meme coins, they don't do anything. So it's kind of like, okay, so am I gonna buy meme coins that do nothing? Um, but then what token does do something other than from what I can see, is these aerodrome velodromes are the only ones that have an actual utility and actually give me something every week, which is insane to say. Given that there's ETH, there's Bitcoin, there's Solana. I mean, they're all, gas tokens basically. You use them to pay for transactions on the network, but like, yeah, you can stake your ETH and you get a nice 4 to 5%, just like Starknet perhaps will in the future. But is that it? You could get wrapped ETH. There's loads of things you can do with ETH, I guess. But Solana, I'm not too sure about because I'm not really a Solana guy. As silly as that sounds, I mean, I feel like I have got a wallet for Solana. I have used it. I mucked around the Whales network. Um, yeah, I missed the whole meme coin thing run up. I just felt it's too risky for me. Especially if I'm getting paid every week. I'm not gonna go over to and jump on Pub Nut Fun and hope for a 10x in an hour. It's just not me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just yeah. I'm just I'm not tired. I'm excited. With everything that's happening in crypto, I'm just kind of like I don't know, man. Is this it? Is this like the final cycle? Is this the final cycle where you just gotta make as much as you can and get out, and maybe when you're out, you could clear your head and then build something in crypto because I feel like that's where it's going anyway. Or is this it? Is it meme coins and bust? You know, it's a scary prospect. This whole Uniswap thing, they're going to be building on top of Optimism, which is the super chain, and their main claim is that it's going to be interoperable, so you could like move um your coins seamlessly between different networks. But like, I'm looking at the networks, and I don't know what I see there. They've got Frax build on Base, which is like a Bitcoin derivative where you can trade Bitcoin. They've got R0, which is like the art chain that I mentioned before. Mode, which is supposed to be like the DeFi, but like, I got the mode airdrop as well. I farmed that sort of, and it was like $30. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know where else, what else there is really that's gonna happen. Like, and it can't be just meme coins this cycle. It really can't. There's got to be something that shocks and surprises us all. I think when Friend Tech came out, a lot of people say they social fire, and Farcaster, which is like Twitter but on chain, had its own token degen, which completely collapsed because of the token emissions once again. Um, yeah, it was just like Farcaster still works great. I think there's a lot of things going on there, but the fact that I can't get it on my desktop is just annoying. It would be nice to. And then they'll say, "Oh, we'll just use Warpath," and it's like, okay, well, I tried that, and it's not working for me. It's not seamless. It's not smooth. It's really not. I've scanned this QR code on my phone, and then it's like, okay, so what happens now? And it's just not. Yeah, it's not like any other application where I can just click connect on my wallet and just get in. Which is annoying. NFTs, they're pretty much dead. Um, I think a lot of the NFT crowd, they're gonna start dropping tokens just to basically they're gonna be meme tokens as well. Like you want to be part of the community. So the way that would work is it's like, say you've got a NFT collection of 10,000, and you yeah, you want to expand your crowd, you would just drop 1 billion tokens, so at least everyone can get in. They pay a couple of pennies, and now they're part of the gang, part of the cult, whatever. I've been waffling for half an hour, but yeah, I'm pretty sure meme coins are not it, but like the narrative and the majority are saying it is. So maybe I'll pick some up. You guys got any ideas on which ones I should join? Because like I have no idea. And this thank you base card was like, I was thinking, yeah, this one looks cool, and obviously I'm wrong. Uh, I guess I can wait 2 years to meme coins. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a while. Thanks for listening to me ramble. It's been half an hour. I can't believe you're still here if you are. And if not, at least I got it out of my head. So yeah, stay healthy, stay blessed, and I guess I'll speak to you soon. Let's see if I can stop this video. There you go. All right, speak to you guys soon. Later.